Well, welcome to our first newsletter for Term 3 in 2025. Hopefully, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, that you had a wonderful break. I'll start by thanking all of the families in the way that you prepared your girls and boys or young men to come back after the break. It's great to see them come back with all of their equipment and generally very much ready to begin learning again, and obviously the way that they've come back with uniforms and grooming and all of that, it's been a very smooth start, so thank you very much for that. A couple of things that happened in our first week. Can I congratulate Sean Humphries and everybody else involved from K-12 in the NAIDOC Assembly. That was a great celebration, and it's great to see just so many different students showcasing their talents across the different year groups. And I know that it was a wonderful message I received from one of the parents of the junior school saying how proud he was of seeing both his son and daughter and the amazing work that they did on that assembly. Also to our Year 5 students, hopefully you had a great time down in God's country in Canberra. I know it was very, very cold, but it was a very jam-packed program, and again, speaking to families when the students returned and to the staff, it was a great 3 days. So thank you again to the staff that were involved in that. Saturday night we also had our maroon and blue ball, and to Ali Buckley and all of her team, 450 people in Brother Luke Hall. It was a great celebration, as I mentioned on the night. It really was all about bringing our community together and giving the opportunity for our parents and our staff to socialise together. And to also just to continue to build this positive community that is such a part of who we are here at St Gregory's College. Obviously to the Year 6 parents, thank you very much for Monday for coming in for open classrooms. Again, it was a huge afternoon. Thanks to the staff for all of the work they did in preparing students and classrooms for that. It was great to see the engagement of parents. Also to our Year 11 2026, our current Year 10 students, thanks to those who were able to attend the Expo last night, looking at subject selections for Year 11. Very, very important part of the process. And as you have heard in other correspondence that we've had, it's a major priority in our strategic planning, of making sure that we get our boys going into Year 11 into the right courses, and last night was a really important part of that. We also have our Year 7 to 11 academic award ceremony. Year 12 will obviously be in attendance also. But again, that's a really important stop in our week to actually recognise over 175 students who have been receiving awards for their efforts, not only academic achievement but also academic effort, and looking at those that have really greatly improved. And again, if I refer back to our strategic plan, we are looking at improving student outcomes and creating this culture of excellence. And it's great to see so many parents who've already RSVP'd, and if you haven't, it would be great for you to attend, even if you haven't tomorrow. We would love to see as many of you there as possible, and then there'll be a morning tea at the conclusion of the assembly for all of the family that have attended and the young fellow who's getting the award. Next week is a big week for our Year 12s, and we wish them the very, very best of luck as they begin their Year 12 trial HSC, an important part in the last part of formal assessments largely for those boys, and so we certainly wish them the best of luck. And also to our Year 6 parents, just a reminder that there is the PYP exhibition parent information evening on the Tuesday. And again, that's another very exciting part of our school calendar. On Friday evening, just gone, the Teachers Guild of New South Wales actually recognised the assistant head of junior school, Mr. Mark Gannon, for Excellence in Education Awards, and that was recognising outstanding educators whose exemplary practices make a significant difference to teaching and learning outcomes. So obviously it's an award that's well deserved for Mr. Gannon, and certainly one us as a community are very, very proud of him. He did a great job representing the college at the dinner on Friday night, and it's great to recognise and congratulate him on this wonderful achievement. Well done, Mark. So just in closing, enjoy this video newsletter. Thanks to everybody for putting it together, and I look forward to seeing many parents and other members of our community at an event very soon. Thank you very much.
On Wednesday last week, Year 5 set off on a 3-day trip to Canberra. We had a great time and learned some awesome facts about the government. Even if it was very chilly, we had the best time, and we were super grateful. We had the most delicious food ever. We also went everywhere around Canberra to the most exciting places. On top of that, we had the best time asking questions and more. We will forever treasure these fun memories.
On day 1 of the trip to Canberra, we arrived at Canberra at 11 o'clock to have a quick lunch. Then we drove to the Royal Australian Mint to look at all the old coins at the Australian Mint. Then we left the Royal Australian Mint and went to the Parliament House. When we arrived at the Parliament House, we had a tour guide, and tour guide took us around to see question time in the Parliament, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. And we also got to see Anthony Albanese and Mike Freelander got to talk in front of Year 5 about the Parliament House, and Senator Deborah O'Neill, Patrick's auntie, got to talk to us as well.
On day 2, we had breakfast and then started to get on the bus to go to the Governor General's house. There, we saw a Rolls Royce parked in the garage and a beautiful jewellery cabinet that is worth over $1 million. We also saw all the awards in the cabinet, including a Victoria Cross. Then we left the Governor General's house to go to the art gallery. When we got there, they gave us stools to sit on, and as we were walking around the art gallery, we were stopping at different artworks to discuss them and hear our thoughts on what we thought it meant. After the art gallery, we went to lunch and had hot dogs and a play. Then we went to the AEC and learned about how democracy works, and we also had a vote. Then at night we went to Questacon and saw lots of signs, including a big slide which had a queue of lots of people.
For our third and final day, we woke up and packed our bags ready to drive back home, but we still had a few more stops. The first stop of the day was a drive to the lookout that oversees the whole of Canberra. The second and last stop of the day was the Australian War Memorial, where we saw all kinds of items that were used by Australians at war. We also saw 2 big walls of Australian people at war. We had the best time and learned so much, and we will treasure these moments for the rest of our lives.
Hello, I'm James.
I'm Charlotte.
And I'm Mia.
This year for PYP, we've been learning about the significance and importance of transdisciplinary themes.
You might be wondering what transdisciplinary actually means. In PYP, we learned that it means to combine all of our ideas into one to expand what we already know.
The transdisciplinary themes that we thought were the most important were interactions, collaboration, system, and decision making.
We chose these themes because effective systems enable interactions and collaboration, leading to more informed decisions.
In Year 6, PYP has helped come closer together as a grade and work with people we usually don't work with all the time.
We think it's also important to think deeper in our work and the ideas that we decide as one grade. Thank you.
Last week we have come together as a college community with a spirit of celebration and reverence as we mark this NAIDOC week with a special assembly under the theme, The Next Generation, Strength, Vision and Legacy. And it couldn't be more fitting. It holds a powerful message, not just for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities, but for all Australians.
Last week, our First Nations boys and girls were exposed to many activities for NAIDOC week, and Declan and I will now outline some of the activities that made NAIDOC 2025 so good. First up, we had little cultural activities that we came and did down in the Wiradjuri Garden just behind us. Mr. Humphreys pulled out 2 years at a time, so I came down with the Year 8s, which was pretty fun. Humphreys was busy over in the cooking area. He was making some Johnny cakes, and then we were over here sanding out all the boomerangs that Humphreys got us, and these both are finished and lacquered, meaning they've got the beeswax all over them. They're all good to go, and yeah, it was just a really good time. You know, you got to see as the day progressed how smooth those boomerangs, those Coolamons, those Nullas had. They just went from a big block to just shaped in a single day, and it was pretty good.
I think our second event for NAIDOC week was our assembly. So we had a whole school assembly and we had multiple performances. One was the Year 4 students singing the national anthem in the Darul language. So I thought that was really good to hear. Really nice to see they're practicing that. We had a few other performances like Jordan singing his song. We had a few guest speakers come up and speak about NAIDOC week, and we also had a lot of Indigenous boys perform their dancing, which was really good to see that we had so many numbers, because I've been talking to other staff members and they've said maybe a few years ago that they wouldn't have many dancers, so it's really good to hear that we've come so far.
Also, like what Declan said about my performance, leading up to it, it was pretty nerve-wracking. I had about 30 minutes about the day before to have one practice in front of Mr. Humphries, and still then I was a bit nervous to perform in front of just one person. But then as soon as the time come for me to do my performance, I was like scared, nervous, but once I got through it, I was happy that I got to perform a song that I haven't performed in a while, and especially sing it in my language and getting people to hear that song, which was pretty cool. Keep going on, Indiana blue, Gele Maru, Indurai, Gero Camille, Gayunea, Gero Gamayo Binea, Nanyamna, oh, Gero Camille, Gayunea, Gero Gamayo Binea, Nanyamna, Come by, Oreya, Yamenda, Oreya, Yamenda, Yanunda.